Hey guys, it is Mike from Baltimore Rides here, wrapping up Wednesday the 28th. Wednesday the 28th, hump day, if you will. Officially in the bag, and it is late. It's about 3:30 in the morning. Just slogging it out, to make the number that I needed to make, 150, and I landed pretty much right on the money with this one, 149. You can't get any closer to the pin on that one. So, but long night, guys. I got off to a late start. I'm not going to lie. I'm eating a little beef jerky. Very good in protein. Probably not so good for making a video, though. But, hindsight is 20/20. But it was a really good night. I'm going to put that in my cheek instead. I felt like it was steady. Monday was a fluke, and I know that now because Tuesday and Wednesday were definitely more consistent $150 nights. But, I'm already at $500 for the week going into Wednesday. I think I have 44 out of the 45 total Lyft trips I need for the power driver bonus. And I think I'm like 9 whatever peak hour trips short for the money. So, steady numbers. This 4 to 7 rush hour thing really does help. In the next 3 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I will be in DC. Obviously, there's going to be pool trips down there, which I think will actually help me. Because if I stay out of the main part of the downtown area and I get a couple pool trips, then I can actually potentially pick up an extra couple, strokes. And instead of, getting 7 or 8 per peak hour block, maybe I can get 9 or 10. So that's kind of my plan. I'd like to get the second tier, which means I've got to do like 19 more peak hour trips between now and Saturday. I think it's doable. It's a little bit of a lofty goal, but I think it's doable. Realistically, though, Lyft has been pretty good for me this week. I have not done almost anything with Uber. Very, very little. I think like $60 with Uber this whole week. And part of that is strategic, guys. I don't have any Uber Quest right now. The Monday through Thursday thing, I've not been getting quests for them Monday through Thursday. I don't expect to get anything for the weekend with Uber because I missed it this past weekend because I was sick. So, and I didn't drive. And I missed it the weekend prior. I did not make the target, although I was close. So, we'll see what that means. It could mean that they give me an easy one, or it could mean that they don't give me anything at all. So, we're just going to have to kind of wait and see what happens there. But, Lyft has been good to me. I'm not going to lie. Lyft has been pretty good to me numbers-wise. And dollars-wise. So we're just going to see what happens. We are going to just rock and roll and just keep on going and see what happens, guys. At the end of the day, I prefer dealing with Lyft than Uber. Now that I've had some time with both of them, I think Lyft is a much better company to work with in terms of customer service, resolving problems. I mean, even that problem the other night with that driver that made me sit for 30, or that passenger that made me sit for 30 minutes, I just feel like they're more accessible. They're not just reading a script off a screen and giving you kind of a form answer. And even though the lady that I was dealing with on the phone, kind of gave me the company line, something changed after we got off the phone because they went back and reworked it and they actually took care of me. So maybe they had second thoughts, or maybe they had somebody had a conscience. I don't know what the reasoning was after they got off the phone to do that, to take care of me, but, they did. And I just don't see Uber doing that. Look at how long it took me to get Quest turned back on with Uber. Almost 2 months. 2 months of calling, begging, arguing, pleading, yelling, sending messages, talking on the phone before they would finally do the right thing. And now, too little too late, they've really lost me. I'm still active with them, and I'll still use Uber if I have to, but from a brand loyalty standpoint, I've shifted. And it's ironic because if you talked to me last year, I was the exact opposite. I was the one trying to convince people that were driving Lyft to come over to the Uber bandwagon. So, that's how easy it is to sway somebody's opinion. You don't take care of them when they need you. There you go. And that's really what it boiled down to, guys, is Uber was great for me when I was making money for Uber. But when I stopped making money for Uber those couple weeks in December, because of personal things that I was just closer to home, they were quick to snatch away my benefits, my incentives in the DC market. And, then when I asked them and I pleaded and I said, look, I've got thousands of trips with you guys. I'm a loyal driver. I'm a full-timer with a great rating, 494, 495. Here's the explanation as to why. Please help me. They still didn't. So there you have it, guys. But other than that, it was a good night. Baltimore's definitely slower than DC, although I do like rush hour. I really do. I think with college being in session, rush hour can be very fruitful. I didn't get a lot of surge pricing tonight, but I did get a couple good ones. And really, that's the kicker, guys, is that, 350, 375 trips, you're not going to get rich on them. But if you're strategic and you're driving in an area that's saturated with surge, there's at least better odds that you're going to get a big trip. Now, when I mean big, I don't mean long mileage, but I mean, a $5 trip becomes a 10, a $10 trip becomes a 20. If you get the right surge on a decent trip, all of a sudden it can be significant. And the last thing I want to comment on, and I don't really have an answer to this, it's kind of a rhetorical question, is the last few days I've been driving in Baltimore, I've been kind of keeping an eye on the BWI pin to see what the head count was. And strangely enough, there hasn't been a lot of cars at BWI this week. I haven't seen it over the 30s with Lyft all week. Now, I don't know if that's just dumb luck. It just happened at that particular time that I was looking. Maybe there was a lot of passengers coming through, and so there weren't a lot of drivers left in the queue. I don't know. Could completely be a fluke, but it seemed like every time I checked on the pin with Lyft, it was under 35, not once did I see it in the 40s. So it was in the 30s or less every single time. And that's peculiar, guys, because almost all of 2017, BWI was just a swarm of drivers. 50, 60, 70 in Lyfts, and then 80, 90, almost even 100 in Uber. So now I haven't been looking at the Uber number, but I've been looking at the Lyft number. But 30s with Lyft is low. And that could tell me one of a couple things. It could say that there's just not a lot of demand right now, so a lot of the drivers have fled and are working the city, they're working rush hour, whatever. Or there's an increased amount of traffic and the trips are just getting pulled quicker. What I think it is that now that when you do a trip with Lyft, if it's a short mileage trip, they bring you back at a lower point in the queue. I think that plays into part, because I think they're both doing that now. I think Uber switched to that as well. So having a guaranteed low spot in the queue, if you're getting a crappy trip, guarantees that people are going to flush through the system faster. It means that if you go out on a ride and you come back after a little 3-miler, you're going to go right back out on another ride, and you're going to bump the line. So all of a sudden, it isn't about getting back as quick as you can to get back in line. It's about, you practically don't even need to get into the queue system. You just come back and the airport gives you another ride before you even get in the holding pattern. So I think that might be something to do with it. A decreased travel time. I think we got lag there for a minute. But this could be a decreased travel time. And I'm not sure. I wasn't driving last February. That's possible too. And so maybe the seasoned airport drivers know that, and they're avoiding the airport because it's slow. That's the other possibility that I'm toying with. But I just thought it was curious. I don't have an answer. So, if anybody's been working the airports lately, let me know what you think it is, because that might be telling. Now, Reagan and Dulles are very different animals. So I'm specifically talking about BWI just because I've been driving close to home Monday through Wednesday lately. I like that. So we will see what that means, guys. But I'm going to wrap it up, and I'm going to get some sleep, and I will see you guys on the road tomorrow. Thank you guys so much. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.